Coach, coming off the loss against Toledo last week, just talk about the last few days of practice and kind of the mindset of the team moving forward, and then looking ahead to Ohio here in a couple days.
Yeah, we've had 2 really good days. I mean, we obviously didn't play well. They kept us off balance the whole day, and we didn't tackle well offensively. We've been in a couple of those scoring games that we've been able to keep up with people, and obviously losing John, a young kid, I thought did a pretty good job for first time ever stepping foot on a college football field, but not enough to keep in a scoring battle with them. So a lot of angry people, upset, chip on their shoulder, whatever you want to call it. Had an unbelievable practice 2 days ago and today. They're ready to get back out there and kind of try to right a wrong. We didn't play well, didn't play good enough. So yeah, they're fired up to get back out there. We've had a good week.
Coach, losing John, 1, what kind of blow is that? 2, I hate to have to say this, you've been in this position.
I know, unfortunately. Yeah, it's John's one of our leaders. Last week at this same press conference, we were talking about how great it is and our connection and how we're on the same page. And losing him hurts, but I mean, it happens. I feel bad for the kid. Most importantly, he was having a heck of a year. Understand, helping us be one of the best offenses, in our league, because of him making the decisions, putting the ball where it needed to be. So we just, you hit reset. The young kid's talented, really talented, and so that was definitely a little bit of a shock for the team when he had to leave the sideline, and then we just got behind Caleb and found a way to get down the field a couple times, and it was hard in a short week, because in a short week, when you get less reps, you give your 2s less reps. You try to get your 1s as much as you can, So it's been healthy for us to get Caleb out there getting the amount of reps John used to. John's with him 24/7 in his hip pocket, because that's the kind of person he is. He'll be our best leader now, coach. I'll have another set of eyes upstairs, but I feel bad for John. I mean, he was having a heck of a year, and he got banged up, but we got to move forward. We got to get him healthy again and get him back whenever that is, and get him ready to compete next year.
What's the difference between this year and last year? Just reading between the lines, it feels like there's a higher expectation for Caleb than maybe last year with Reese when he came in. I don't know if that's...
I would say that's true. I'll be honest with you, I still think, I mean, I've coached quarterbacks my whole life. I've recruited a ton of them. I have a lot of experience in that field. When we brought Reese in, I thought Reese was going to be a good player in a couple years. I thought he was going to be a guy that had to develop a little bit. Game had to slow down for him. He's going to have to use his brain a little bit, to understand coverages. And I really felt, but it wasn't going to be his first year. He wasn't ready when he took the field. Caleb, on the other hand, is talented. I mean, he's got a great arm. He's aggressive. He understands coverages. He's way more mature. It's kind of like when we had Dungy. Like, Dungy was a competitor from the moment he got in there. He didn't need to rely on like John. John's one of those guys that once he understands coverage and stuff, he can really be a special quarterback. And I think Reese would have turned into that in a couple of years. But playing him, I always say more quarterbacks are ruined than made. When you throw them out there too soon, they're not ready for it. Eric is a little bit like Dungy was like Caleb in that they have free swinging, and that's the way I coach him though too. He has one rule, and that's if he's not having fun, I take him out of the game. That's the goal. I have zero expectation. I expect you to go in there and play like like you're in your backyard. Go have some fun. You got great players around you. I'm not going to put too much pressure on him, But he's got a ton of talent. I think people saw that in the little he played. His numbers were way better than I thought they'd be. A lot of little things to clean up, but definitely the guy that's coming in now is a different guy than in the past. Still 18 years old, but we're excited about what we put around him. He doesn't have a bunch of injuries around him like the other guy had, so he's got some tools, and I'm looking forward to watching him play.
What exactly did John do, and what's his recovery?
I don't know all the exacts. I know that it's his foot. It's going to require surgery. They do like 5 different scans, So the last scan, which was done yesterday, I have not heard what exactly they're going to do in there when they're in there, but I know they're going in there this week. So, and depending on how much they have to do in there, will tell us if it's going to, is he going to be back for spring? Is he going to be back in middle of December? Is it going to be February? I don't know that part. I know they're going to. He's having surgery this week. So he ain't going to play Thursday. But so that's the part we're waiting on. I don't. Like I tell everybody, I don't expect him to come back, before I'm hoping he's back for spring, but they got to get him right, and that's what he deserves. He's hurt. He even played a couple plays afterwards thinking it was just an ankle sprain, and then put his foot in the ground and knew something was wrong. When he made that throw on that bootleg, the moment he came out of the bootleg, I knew something was up because he was limping really bad, and he's a tough kid, so that couldn't have just been an ankle. And then he missed the throw by 20 yards, which he never misses, and so I called a swing screen on the next play, the easiest throw in America, just to get him over to the sideline, and that's when we figured out there was something more, So we'll find the real details of what they're going to do when they're in there soon, but yeah, I don't expect him back.
How different quarterbacks are John and Caleb?
Not much. I mean, one's got a stronger arm. Caleb has a stronger arm. John has a stronger brain because he's experienced, and knows when to check and get us in and out of bad plays or good plays. So got to be a little bit smarter. I got to be smarter and keep Caleb in a good place. But there's going to be some bad thing. I mean, we had a big 3rd and 2 last week that I thought we called the good play, and he just read the wrong guy. If he would have read the right guy, we would have got a first down. Instead, he read the wrong guy, handed it off, and we lost a yard on a run play. And those things happen. He came to the sideline. I said, "Who were you reading?" He said, "The outside linebacker." And I gave him one of those looks like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to read the D end, aren't I?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Did he make the play?" I'm like, "Yes." And so he's going to have freshman moments, so we got to try to keep him out of those as much as possible. And but they're not like, it's not like one runs a 4.5 and one runs a 5.0. I mean, they're both very similar. They're adequate runners. They're going to beat you from the pocket. They can get out of the pocket and do some things, but they're not. No one runs a 4.5 in our quarterback room. So they're not that much different other than experience. So he's the most talented arm we have. I'm sure people saw that. And I don't even think he's thrown it yet. You guys haven't seen him throw it comfortably yet. The one he threw to Bird for a touchdown, he aimed it. I mean, he got it there, but it wasn't a Caleb throw where he just relaxed and lets it go. So it's pretty to watch him throw it.
I think he has a certain swagger about him too. You mentioned that he was like, "I'm good, coach."
He does, and I got to keep him there. You know what I mean? It's his, he's from Louisville, and they call him Too Fresh in Louisville. So I told him my job is to make sure he's Too Fresh and not Caleb. Just relax and go play. And he when every 18-year-old is gonna be nervous. And I thought he handled it really well. He's a competitive sucker. But I only have one rule for freshman quarterbacks, which is if you're not having fun, you're out. So he was smiling, he was having fun, he was making mistakes here and there, but I'm not going to jump him for that, and like I said, he's surrounded by some good players, so which is what we didn't surround Reese with last year. It was really hard when we were all banged up at receiver and we had one running back left, and so I don't think nothing's going to change offensively. We're going to run our plays and let him go do it because that's what he knows. That's what he's been running. He's comfortable and had a great day today, and so it'll be fun to watch him,
What do you see from Ohio?
They're good on offense. They're just a solid football team. They're defensively, I think they're good up front. They're physical. They do a great job of stopping the run. They got number 7, their boundary safety, is a really good player. And offensively, they can run the ball. They're the number 1 rushing team in our league. They're efficient throwing the ball. They got a slot that's crazy fast. They throw it up over the top of you. Scoring-wise, it's them, Toledo, and us have been the 3 offenses that have been able to efficiently. And the thing about them is they run it and throw it. Running's where they make their bread and butter. They run their quarterback a ton. They play 2 different quarterbacks. So for us, we got to stop the run, and then that's going to be hard to do. And not a lot of teams have been able to do that. Northern's really the only team that's been able to do that. And if we can slow the run game down, we got a chance. And then defensively, we got to find a way to win in the trenches. We got to get good box matchups so we can run the ball a little bit, and we got to win on our matchups outside. So but there's not a weakness. You know, I mean, when you're a team like this that is picked to win the East, I know they got a big game coming up with Buffalo. You know, but there's not a weakness. They're solid on special teams. They're solid on offense. They can run it. You know, Coach Scholich does an unbelievable job of making sure that they're strong. He's been there long enough. They've recruited. They got everything they need. They got the type of players they want at each position, and so it's gonna be a heck of a challenge. We're looking forward to it.
How concerned are you with your defense and getting stopped? I mean, what area do you think really could help this unit improve on getting some stuff?
We got tackling. We got to tackle better. You know, we knew this week coming into this the Toledo game that we felt as though, I mean, running back, wide receiver wise, it was the best unit in the league. It was the best running backs we've seen, the best receivers we've seen. The hard part for us was going to be we're going to have to make tackles in space. You know, they're going to read our safeties, and if our safeties come down, they're going to throw it over the top. If our safeties sit back, where they're going to hand it, and we're going to have a hard time tackling in space. You know, so they had us kind of in a catch-22 there of you pick your poison, the best receivers in the league or not. You know, we had to do a better job covering. You know, that's one of the reasons we were a little bit slow filling with the safeties because we're trying to help our corners, and what ended up happening there is both were bad. I mean, you know, there's a difference when a safety comes down and makes a play in a 2-foot box. Like when Tranquil comes down and meets you at the line of scrimmage, he'll make the tackle. You know, and if he waits, by the time he gets down there, the hole's about the size of this room, and that's a hard tackle against the running back. You know what I mean? And so they were messing with him the whole time, and we're trying to help our outside guys, our corners, as much as humanly possible because they're young, they're getting better. You know, but and they're obviously inefficient, explosive. So I mean, we have to tackle better, and we have to cover better. Those are the two biggest things, you know. And we knew we were going against the #1 scoring team in our league. So if they got going, we were in trouble, you know. And once they got rhythm and got going, and they were mixing the run and the pass well, they're doing exactly what I try to do, is keep them off balance and never know when we're going to run it and pass it. And they had us spinning all day. And we've gotten to those situations a couple times against the good offenses, and we've been able to score with them. You know, when Bowling Green got it going or when Miami got it going, without John, we weren't able to keep up with it, because a lot of times it'll settle down eventually, and it spiraled out of control, and some of our best players, you know, struggled, you know, and so anytime Drake Spears misses a couple tackles, he hasn't really missed tackles, you know, and Grace and Trank, like we're talking about really good players, you know, so they're all got a chip on their shoulder. We always talk about watching the film with honest eyes. Me too. You know, I went through all the plays. I called some bad plays and talked about the things I need to do better. And so we've had 2 really good days of practice. They cannot wait. That's like the best thing that can happen, is let us get back out on that field again, and just to get the taste out of your mouth. You know, so it was fun when we got on the practice field on Sunday, because they were flying around just to move on to the next step.
You mentioned at the beginning of the season that you'd like to keep Caleb Elkins' redshirt this year. Obviously, that's still on the table with 3 regular season games left, but you guys are also bowl eligible. Have you given any thought to, as far as maybe if John's not ready by the bowl game, what the quarterback situation is?
I have not. I don't think we're a 6th, in my opinion, isn't bowl eligible because of what happened last year. So when we get to 7, I'll worry about that. Haven't really thought. I mean, if he's our best bet to win a game, we're going to play him. You know, we can redshirt him next year or the year after. The thing about redshirting that's interesting is it's great to do it, but with injuries and the way it works now, having the redshirt in your pocket's never a bad thing. You know, for the future when you get hurt next year in the second game or first game where you can use it then. You know, but yeah, I have not. I mean, I've just been dialed into Ohio and then Ball State and then Northern. You know, and then hopefully a game after that, you know, or 2 games after that. So if he gives us our best bet to win, he'll be the guy in there, you know.
As far as the cornerbacks go, any update on Obi and Manuel?
None that I know of. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know. But I have not heard anything about either one of them, really.
Can be closing out the home slate here, just with 2 home games left, and then reminds me of all the kind of traditions that we see at Waldo Stadium. I don't know if there's any that go back to when you played. Do you have like a favorite, whether that's coming out with Triumph or the Cannon or the players leading the band up? Is there a particular one that's carried over
for years and years? Yeah, I mean, I do love Triumph. That's one that I get a kick. I mean, I remember that. I remember the running behind the horse. That's one of my favorites. The leading the band afterwards, I don't remember that. And it's kind of like the people talk about the Cannon now. I remember the Central Western games, but I don't know when they made the Cannon. I've never carried. We technically won the Cannon twice, but there was no trophy. Now it's really cool that there's an actual visual. Because you never forget that game. Now there's a visual trophy, which I love. So that was a pretty cool thing a couple weeks ago to see that come to fruition. But the fight song is a fight song. I mean, I love singing it. I've brought a couple things back as far as how we do it in the locker room after the game, and singing to our away fans is something that that we used to not do, which is kind of a fun one. It's been fun to come back and see some of the new ones. I enjoy coming in and sitting with my leadership council saying, like, so how do you do this? Why do you do this way? And just keeps continuing to grow. Some of the things that we did are still here, and there's some new ones. Having the guy go up and lead the band cracks me up every time to put different people up there. You will never see me up there, never. Coaches keep saying, well, why don't you go? I'm like, nope, that ain't happening. I can tell you that. We did that. I canceled that. I said that's just not. I'm not. It's not about me. What we did last year is we started sending I'd pick a player of the game and let him do it, but the leadership council wanted to cancel that this year, which I was totally fine with, so there's always like the little mini ones, but then the big ones, the having Triumph there and the Cannon. I still forget about the Cannon. I mean, it scares me every single time. Every win, when I'm walking across the field to see the opposing coach and that thing goes off, I get scared. I do one of these. And I was like, how many times have I been here when we've won and they shot the cannon off? Tons, that last one gets me every time. And, but yeah, so those ones are fun. And for me, setting the seniors off the right way is the most important thing, So having their last two home games, senior night, having those guys walk out the tunnel. We only got 9 of them, but having them walk out, that'll be a huge thing as we close this season out. As far as finishing the season the right way, but we're going to talk about those guys, what they've meant to this program, what they've done for this program. Leading them through a transition, which is always hard, and they've been huge for this program and putting us in a position that we got 3 games left and we're control our own destiny, which is there's only I think 3 or 4 of us left that can say that. So it's I'm looking forward to making sure that we send them out the right way.
How proud are you that you do control your own destiny, given all the injuries you faced last year, what you just have gone through? But you're still right there if you take care of it.
We have to take care of our own business, and it's about us, right? But there aren't a lot of teams that you get to. It's weird because we have gone. What I'm most proud of is this has been a very difficult season because we haven't had a bye week. We're going to end up playing 10 games in less than 10 weeks of college football division we played. Now that Syracuse is ranked, we played 2 top 25 teams. It's been a grind. We went a 5-day week. Now we got a 7-day week. And after this game will be the first time my guys can actually have a day off or 2 days off and get their body. I mean, and really hopefully get caught up getting ready for finals and all the stuff that's coming that we've gone straight through. I was talking to Coach Canna before the game, and they had a bye week at week 2, which was terrible too. We were trying to figure out which one was worse, having it week 2 or week 10, or 11 actually. So we're, we are 9 games into the season and sitting in position that we control our own destiny, and that's not easy to do. And we got some big ones coming up, if we want to continue to be in this position. But they've played well enough to put ourselves in this position. But we gotta finish it off. Change is part of life. It's one thing. The one constant in life is change, and obviously, quarterback change is a big one. But we don't have many other no more other injuries. AJ Thomas is back, which is huge for us, and so I feel like we still have the pieces. We just got to go out there and execute.
Tough loss last week against Toledo. Just talk about getting back on the field with your teammates and looking ahead to Ohio upcoming this week.
Yeah, so obviously a loss like that's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth, and I think everybody on the team just was excited to get back out and practice. And make ourselves better. And we've had a great week of practice so far, and getting prepared for Ohio, and just excited to get back on that field and play again.
So you lost your starting quarterback. What's kind of the mindset of the team right now, kind of rallying behind Caleb?
Yeah, John obviously is a great quarterback, great friend. He's my roommate. Praying for him and his recovery. But Caleb's a guy we have 100% confidence in. You know, he's got great arm talent, as he showed the other night. Very confident and about his ability, and we're all backing him and supporting him, and we know he's there for us, and excited to see what he does out on the field this week.
Does he throw a different ball than John? Like, does it get a little more zip on?
Yeah, you definitely feel it when you know, John's got a great arm, but you definitely feel it when Caleb's throwing the ball, and he's got a little zip to him, great arm strength and talent that he showed last week. So.
Gio, Coach said after the game that, you know, something like the loss that you guys had, it can be a good thing. It makes you refocus, all those things. Do you see that in your locker room? Is it something that you guys can build off, that you had 1-6 in a row, and then it comes, you know, down the way it did, and can you build off that?
Yeah, definitely. After the game, one of our leaders said, you know, we only lose if we lose ourselves as a team, and it's something that we can build together and come together for, just to light that fire under us, that, you know, everything's still out in front of us. We have the opportunity to go out and still achieve what we want to achieve, and that starts with just focusing on every day, preparation, making ourselves better, and then coming out against Ohio this week and playing our best game to put us in a position to win. Along
those same lines, what do you see from Ohio specifically on the defensive side?
Yeah, you know, they've obviously had success going back 2 years ago, playing them in the MAC championship game, and their defense was really good then, and they're still really good now. They're a physical group of guys who definitely going to make us work for every possession that we have, and it's going to be a fun challenge, but excited to get out there and take it on.
Caleb came in early as a freshman. I mean, how much of an advantage do you think that gave him in terms of like picking up the playbook, and the coach said you guys don't plan on scaling much back for him?
Yeah, no, he came in back in the winter, and he's put in a lot of work, a hard worker, and yeah, understanding the offense and being comfortable with the guys. You know, been throwing with them in spring ball until now. And he's just, like I said, he's got a confidence in him, a little swagger to him, that he knows what he's doing, and it's going to be real fun to see with a full week of preparation what all he's going to be able to accomplish this week.
Coach mentioned that one area that you've shown a ton of improvement over the season is your blocking. Could you talk about what it's been like to have to go up against some Division I defensive ends and linebackers, as far as just, you know, managing those tight end responsibilities?
Yeah, definitely going from blocking corners to 200-some pounds defensive ends is a challenge, and I've embraced it. I've enjoyed it. You know, tight end's been an awesome transition for me, and just something that me and my coach always focus on is being a lighter guy, that my technique's going to win and over just outmanning a guy. And so that's something that we've been focusing all year back in the off season, and just improving that every day and focusing on it in practice has helped a lot.
Do you have a favorite tradition you guys do?
Favorite tradition? I've always loved, after wins, leading the band and singing the fight song, and then, like Coach said earlier, at away games, being able to, because our fans, we travel very well, families and friends, and it's just real fun to, you know, appreciate that support that they give us after games.
How do you guys decide who gets to lead the band?
It's typically Coach Lester's decision, and usually somebody who played well, or, you know, a senior that, you know, it's their last go here. So trying to get them out there and just having fun. It's awesome.
Do you have a favorite guy you've seen up there doing it?
You know, my man Odell did pretty well when he's up there earlier. Bellamy, and you know, it's fun to watch.
You're from Ohio. Did you get recruited by Ohio Coach Solik, or did they show any interest when you were in high school?
No, they did not. You know, I was so eager to be a Bronco. I committed. They were my first offer, and I committed 2 days later. So my recruiting process was pretty short, but I was never recruited by them.
Do you know some kids you play high school against or with, some of the kids?
Yeah, I got a buddy who's on their defense. He's a linebacker, Eric Pop. Played high school ball with him and his brother. So it'll be fun seeing him out there.
Ohio.